It's a pizza pie. Hey guys, welcome to another week of Baking with Jesse. Today we're going to be making a simple pizza dough that anyone can make. I know for myself I love having family and friends over and love making great home-cooked meals, and one of my favorite things has been making pizza. And it's a really simple thing. I was kind of scared about it at first because I wasn't sure if it would be good or not, and it turned out awesome. So here's a super quick, super easy recipe that anyone can do. Let's go! For your ingredients, you'll need 4 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 1/4 tablespoons of active dry yeast, 2 1/4 tablespoons of sugar, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, and 1/4 cup of olive oil. Also, another cup of water to add to the mixture. Alright guys, so first we're going to bloom our yeast and let it get going. So what I've done here is I've kind of made a little bath for my bowl of warm water, and what that does is just kind of helps give it an extra little protection measure to make sure that your yeast blooms. Now I'm going to do a 1/2 cup of warm water. We're going to go ahead and add in our sugar, and we're going to add our yeast. I'm just going to mix that around a little bit, and you're going to let that bloom for about 10 minutes. You got to make sure that your water isn't too hot because it will really kill the yeast, and it's not too cold or else the yeast won't activate. Alright guys, so the yeast mixture has bloomed, and you can see it's real foamy and real frothy. And this is active yeast, so you can actually just add it in, you don't have to bloom it, but I like to do this to make sure that my yeast is good. If it doesn't bloom like this, you want to get some fresh yeast to make sure that it is good to go. Okay, so I have attached my dough hook right here, and next we're going to just go ahead and pour in our flour. I'm using bread flour here, but you can use all-purpose flour as well. I'm going to pour in our salt and our garlic powder, and we're going to go ahead and add in our olive oil. We'll start off at a low speed, and then we'll up it as the mixture gets a little bit thicker. Y'all, I forgot to add the water again, so add another 1/2 cup in there. I was wondering why it wasn't mixing. Okay, now that is actually looking closer to what we want. Y'all, make sure you read the instructions. I was just trying to go off memory or something. Another 1/2 cup. Now we've added 1 cup of water, but it looks like it's going to need a little bit more, so we'll add that bit by bit until it's pulling all the dough from the sides and it's got a really good texture. Okay, so the dough's coming together, but it needs just a little bit more water. So we'll just put in just a little splash in there. And as it needs it, we'll just add a little bit more. Now you can see that it has pulled all the stuff from the sides. We're just going to let it keep going, let it get a little smoother. Okay, y'all, we're going to take our dough, and on a clean surface, which I've cleaned out here, just going to knead it a couple more times. And that is really just a great texture there. Just pulling it, folding it back over itself, pushing it again, like so. Okay, and take this, form it into a lovely little ball. That garlic powder makes it smell really good. Alright guys, so our dough has doubled in size, and we're just going to punch it down a couple times. It's smelling really nice. Just going to take that out. If you want to add some more flavor, you can go ahead and let it rise for another 30 minutes, and I'll do that. A good amount for either 3 like thin crusts. Oh yeah. Yeah, that is nice. Makes a good amount for 3 thin crust or 2 thick crust pizzas. So I'll take my pizza down here. And I'm gonna just make 2. I like a little bit of a thicker crust, so I'm just gonna cut that guy in half. About half and half. You'll dust your surface. You want it to be a clean surface, of course, of course. Take this guy, pat it down, and just use your fingers to kind of spread it out. Take your guy, push it out with your fingers some, kind of try and get that circular shape. You don't have to be a master at this part, I'm not. I like to take a rolling pin, like that, and then just roll it out in a circular shape. And see, it's kind of shrinking back a little bit on me. If I just leave that for a couple minutes, it'll stop doing that. Well, that's a pretty good size that I'm looking for. So next, I'm gonna take my pan, just a regular pizza pan, and just fit on top of the pizza, I guess. And on top, you can do some cornmeal, but I don't have any of that, so I'm just gonna do a little more flour. This helps it from sticking. Now, if you're a professional amateur like me, you can toss it around. Just kidding. I don't actually know what I'm doing. Maybe. It's kind of fun. Okay, enough being dumb. It's homemade, so it doesn't have to be the prettiest thing. I know mine's not always the prettiest, but next we're just gonna brush it with some olive oil. Love me some olive oil. Okay, that's a good amount. I think. Maybe one more. Just poke it with a fork, and that will create some holes that whenever it's baking, it helps the air escape a little bit. And one last one, just for fun. Okay. And yeah, they're ready to go. You can put any sort of toppings you want on them. At this point, it's all in your hands. So these will bake in the oven at 450 for around 15 minutes. I would just watch them. You want to see the cheese kind of browning on the top. You want to see the edges to be golden. They'll rise a little bit more. And if you want, you can wrap these in some plastic wrap and you can put them in the fridge for later. If you're waiting for tomorrow or something, just make sure they're sealed and good to go.
And just pop it in the Easy Bake for solid 10 minutes and you are ready to fly, baby.
It's a pizza pie! And there you have it, super easy pizza dough you can make right at home. If you like this video, like, comment, and subscribe.